Is it finally happening, or has it already started? Look at this headline closely. Should states ban mandatory human microchip implants? A new report examines the rise of preemptive bans on mandated human microchip implants, noting that 13 states have recently enacted such a ban, despite no companies currently requiring the technology. The Carnegie Council for Ethics in International Affairs has released a report entitled "The Rise of Preemptive Bans on Human Microchip Implants," looking primarily at how some states are preparing for an increased prevalence of this technology. Let's stop there for a second. Pay attention to these words. Looking primarily at how some states are preparing for an increased prevalence of this technology. Microchip technology is no longer a theory or some form of breakthrough tech. It's an expected reality. Some states in America are already planning ahead in terms of how to deal with this technology, which is soon to come. Notably, more states are enacting preemptive bans to prevent employers from requiring that their workers be microchipped. U.S. states are increasingly enacting legislation to preemptively ban employers from forcing workers to be microchipped, which entails having a subdermal chip surgically inserted between one's thumb and index finger, wrote the authors of the report. Internationally, more than 50,000 people have elected to receive microchip implants to serve as their swipe keys, credit cards, and means to instantaneously share social media information. This technology is especially popular in Sweden, where chip implants are more widely accepted to use for gym access, e-tickets on transit systems, and to store emergency contact information. End quote. Now, why are these microchip implants particularly interesting to keep an eye on? And according to Revelation, we know that the beast, the Antichrist, will force all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads. There is a lot of speculation about what this mark could be. Could it indeed be a microchip implant? Or some type of barcode? There is so much speculation surrounding what the mark of the beast will be. One interesting theory is linked to Elon Musk's Neuralink technology. Neuralink hopes to create direct brain-to-computer interfaces that allow people to control digital devices with their thoughts. The interesting thing about Neuralink is that when people look at it, it does bear characteristics that cause concern among some Christians. The implant location. Neuralink is a chip implanted in the brain forehead region, which echoes the Revelation description of where the mark will be. Economic dependency. If such technologies become gateways to participating in the economy via digital identity, currency, or communication, it aligns with the prophecy that the mark controls buying and selling, normalization through innovation. Perhaps most importantly, the mark of the beast isn't described as being overtly evil. The concern is deception. The mark will likely be presented as a necessary or even benevolent innovation. For example, at this stage, none of us know what the actual mark of the beast will look like, but we do know that it's coming.
Shalom, welcome to another video, and as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. So this is going to be a reaction to the clip that I put in the introduction of this video. And this is a video that I'm landbacking off of from Holy Bible Defenders, the elder out of GMS Baltimore. And in the video clip, they said that 50 to 100,000 people internationally have already received the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, so it's becoming increasingly apparent exactly what the mark of the beast is, which is exactly what we've been saying that it is, the RFID microchip, which stands for radio frequency identification chip. Excuse me. So it's becoming increasingly apparent that that's what it is. Okay, and we're at that time where it's going to become mandatory soon. All right, Heavenly Father's will. So with that being said, okay, I'm just gonna bring out some general prophecies on the mark of the beast, show you what it is, break down the mark and the number of his name, all right, etc., etc. And Yahweh Retzazam in Heavenly Father's will is edifying to the elect. All right, so first I'm going to start off here in Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what Yahweh says and how he will answer my complaint. Okay, verse 2. Then Yahweh said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. Okay, so we're sighing and crying to the Heavenly Father, complaining about the conditions of this society. Okay, complaining and praying for him to deliver us out of this captivity. But we know that things must come to pass before he delivers the elect. Okay, Heavenly Father's will be part of that number. But he said, make it plain upon tables. Okay, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. Okay, and that's what we're doing. We're carrying the correct message to you on what the mark of the beast is. One of the most important prophecies and the hour temptation that is spoken of in the book of Revelation. Okay, the major stumbling block that is getting ready to come upon the earth. Okay, where many people are going to be deceived into taking it, and we've already seen it. 50,000 to 100,000 people have already received it. Okay, and I looked that up too to verify, and that's true. All right, so verse 3, it says, for the vision is for a future time. Okay, which we're in that time right now, but back then when Habakkuk saw the vision, all right, of the second coming of Yahweh Shai and the destruction given to come upon Babylon the Great in this world at large, all right, it was for a future time, but now we are in that future time. Okay, it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, and we're at those times now. All right, so with that being said, we'll go into the prophecy. Okay, Revelation chapter 13, and we're going to start at verse 16. This is the prophecy of the mark of the beast. I'm going to read this in the King James Version, as a matter of fact. All right, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. All right, it says, and he is the elite banking families. Okay, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Bloombergs, Oppenheimers. Okay, those who run the society behind the scenes. All right, causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a M-A-R-K, a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that Greek word for mark is the word charagma. All right, Strong's G5480. All right, and I'll let you hear the pronunciation of it.
Strong's G5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right, charagma. And you see, it says in the outline of biblical usage, a stamp, an imprinted mark, all right, of the mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach. The mark branded upon horses. It says a thing carved, sculpture or graven work, idolatrous images. All right, Strong's definitions down here. It says charagma from the same as Strong's G5482. All right, a scratch or an etching, and as we tell you, it's not something spiritual. It's a physical mark. Okay, if it's a spirit, a lot of people say that it's sin. That's why it said in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter that the runners will bring the correct message to you. Okay, no, it's something that they're going to scratch or etch into you. They're going to pierce your skin to insert it inside of you. All right, we go into that word. Okay, Strong's G5482. That word is karax. Okay, this is the root word. All right, of charagma. Okay, and you see it says on the root word etymology of karax is karaso, to sharpen to a point. Okay, such as a needle or a syringe. All right, through the ideal of scratching. Okay, which is to pierce. Okay, So it says the same thing in Strong's definitions down here, to sharpen to a point, okay, through the ideal of scratching. So it is a tiny RFID microchip, okay, a grain of rice device that they're going to take a syringe, okay, which is a needle sharpened to the point, and they're going to poke you with it and insert that chip. They had a little picture of it, you know, in the clip that I played. All right, so that's what it is. Okay, that's what the mark is. And as they said, let's go back. All right, the next verse, Revelation 13. We'll read 16 again. So like, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. That's what the guy said in the video. Okay, he said that without this technology, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're going to be looked at as an enemy of innovation, all right, etc., etc. And he says, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, now, even when you go into the number of his name, it gives you more clues. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, a score is 20, so 660, 3 and 6, so 666. Now, when you go into that, okay, the number of his name, okay, the 603 and 6, Strong's G5516. Okay, it's Chi Psi Stigma. All right. Now, it doesn't really give you much information here. Okay, it just tells you. All right, it says that it's the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. So people don't really know. But when you go into the root word of this stigma, all right, it says, okay, you see the root word etymology from a primary stezo, to stick or to prick. Okay, so they're telling you, they're giving you more clues. Something that's going to be a needle. That's what it does. It pricks you. All right, that's what they're going to use, a needle, a syringe, to be able to insert this technology inside of you. All right, and you go further down, it tells you outline of biblical uses. This is what the word stigma means. Okay, it says a mark pricked or branded upon the body. All right, which that's how they would do in ancient times. This is what he's doing through his modern day technology. He's going to mark you. Okay, he's going to brand you. All right, it says, to ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So if you take this, you get that 666, all right, the number of his name. All right, it's a number. It represents a number of ownership. Okay, just like you put a serial code on a product, right? When you buy an iPhone, all right, they're able to identify who owns that iPhone based off of the serial code. Well, that's what Esau is going to do. Okay, within that RFID microchip, as in the video, it's going to have your driver's license, you know, a passport, health records, bank cards. Okay, but ultimately, that is ownership. Okay, they're putting a serial code inside of you, all right, saying that you are owned by the state. Okay, which is the state is ran by the elites. All right, so continuing on, it says, or generally who they belong to, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. Okay, so it's also tied to idol worship. All right, because you're pretty much saying that Esau is my God. You say, I belong to Esau, I don't belong to the Heavenly Father. Okay, it says Strong's definitions, to stick or to prick, a mark incised or punched for the recognition of ownership, a scar of service, a mark. Okay, so this is not, this is tied to the mark. Okay, if you take the mark, you also take the number of his name. All right, so that doesn't mean you're literally going to have 666 inside of you, but the number 666, when you get into the root word of it, all right, it goes back to stezo, which means be pricked with a mark of ownership. Okay, like could be like a number and a serial code. Back then, it could have been a symbol. Okay, so that's what it means. You're essentially saying that I belong to this society. Okay, and the Most High is going to destroy anyone who belongs to the society. Let's go ahead and get those precepts. All right, on the end result of all those who take this RFID microchip. All right, Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. You see it says, doom for worshippers of the beast. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink. And that word, once again, that word mark is charagma. We just broke it down fully. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. See that? This, it says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahushua. You have to be patient and trusting in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, to give you the strength to not bow down to the beast, all right, to not take that mark, okay, because once again it will be made mandatory. All right, you will not be able, it said in the video, you will not be able to participate in commerce. You will not be able to buy nor sell, okay, and you need to do that for everything, all right. That's part of the conditions of this society, but you have to fully trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why you're going to need patience and you're going to need faith. Verse 13, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in Yahushua from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, and that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So they're going to be rewarded, those who overcome. Okay, and we'll close out with this last one. Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. Just to back up what we read about the lake of fire. It says, Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast, okay, the beast being the European power structure, okay, the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. All right, that false prophet is really the Roman Catholic Church, okay, and all the branches that come out of it, and with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. Okay, his image, you go into that word, we'll go into it real quick. Okay, that word image is icon, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, Strong's G1504. Go ahead and hear the pronunciation of it.
Strong's G1504. Icon. Icon.
All right, and the word icon, okay, it says the image, the figure, the likeness. Okay, so anyone who is in the likeness of Esau, okay, and really it's going into his whole system. All right, the image is really his system. It says a stature, a profile, a reputation, okay, resemblance. All right, so you're in the resemblance of this beast system, okay, you're going to be destroyed. Let's read that again. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, the charagma, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So they have been deceived. Okay, now how is this deception going to come? You do have certain Christians, okay, that are speaking out against this. All right, like the church who made this video. Okay, but for the most part, right, especially when that time comes, and it's made very hard, you know, these people are going to fold, man. Okay, and you're going to have different church leaders. You already got them. You got Israelite camp leaders too, that work for the false prophet, they're paid off. If you have a 501c3 charter, if your organization has a 501c3 charter, you have a contract with the government, okay, and you are under the authority of the Vatican. All right, so you're part of that false prophet beast system, okay, and you already got IUIC telling people that it's sin, okay, the ISUPK teaching that it's sleeping with a white woman. All right, no, it's a physical mark, okay, without it you'll not be able to buy nor sell. But the beast and the false prophet, the Roman Catholic Church, okay, the Vatican, this is the mother of all these different religions, all right, and the one who controls, you know, pretty much what is pushed out throughout the earth once you make a contract with the beast system. All right, they are the ones that they're going to use their minions to deceive the world. Okay, same thing they did 5 years ago, okay, with that 1-9. All right, they told you it was okay to take, and a lot of people took it, and a lot of people died. Okay, it's going to be the same thing with this, man. All right. And I should have got Revelation 16. Revelation 16 talks about a grievous sword. That's another way you know it's physical. We'll go ahead and get that right quick, since I mentioned it. Okay, Revelation 16th chapter. It talks about right here in verse 2. Okay, it says, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. Okay, So you go into that word for sore. Okay, it's Helkos, Strong's G 1668, and it says a wound producing a discharge or pus, a sore or an ulcer. So if you take it, all right, you also get a sore to show everyone this person took the mark. Okay, and it may be cancerous. We can't say exactly for sure, but this is what the scriptures say. Okay, that this is what it says. It's gonna be a wound producing a discharge or pus, a sore or an ulcer upon those who take the mark. All right, so these are the different punishments, and the end result is nuclear fire. Okay, so just beware of these things, man. All right, 50 to 100,000 people have already received it, and it's going to be millions. Best believe that. The vast majority of people in the world are going to take it. Okay, so I'm ended there. Heavenly Father's will is edifying. As always, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach. And until next time, Shalom, and Abide Babal.